Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about the developers of Skyline and their brand new project. Now, most of you probably already know that Skyline used to be a Nintendo Switch emulator on Android, but it's no longer in active development. The developers on this one decided to stop working on the project and shut it down due to fear of legal risks. Now, some of the developers didn't agree with that, and they forked the project and they're continuing it under the name of Strato, although there is no official release of Strato just yet. Anyways, we're not talking about Strato, we're talking about the developer's brand new project that is emulating Windows on Android. Now, to be specific here before someone calls me out in the comments, it's not necessarily emulating the entire Windows platform on Android. It's more or less just getting Windows games to run on Android. The project appears to be called Cassia, and Bylaws posted a picture of a game working. As for the game being showcased in that photo, it seemed to be an earlier Windows version of Super Tux Kart, but I could be wrong. Anyways, it appears that Cassia is in very early stages of development, so don't expect a release anytime soon. I wish the developers of Cassia the best of success moving forward, and if you want me to cover it, let me know in the comments below. And speaking about Switch emulation, next up we're talking about the PC version of Yuzu, and it just got a brand new feature you may be interested in. So in mainline build 1478, which is the latest update at the time of filming, they have implemented Skylander support for Joy-Cons and Pro controllers. Skylander figurines can now be loaded from the Joy-Cons and Pro controllers, as long as Enable Direct Joy Pro Controller driver is enabled. Moving on, and we're talking about a ROM manager, RomVault, and RomVault just released version 3.6.1. This one has a bug fix with a pretty hefty performance bump. So in version 3.6.0, chdman.exe is no longer required. CHD support is built in. And in version 3.6.1 here, there is a bug fix that fixed CHD scanning performance, which increased CHD verification speed by 3 to 4 times. Moving on, and we're talking about the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 HD Edition port for PS Vita. And version 1.1.0 just released, and this one adds gamepad controls, so cursor movement with the left analog stick and map scroll with the right one. Now, if you're not a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, maybe you're a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic 2. F-Heroes 2, which is a recreation of the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 game engine, also got a brand new release a couple of weeks ago, version 1.05. This one has a whole bunch of bug fixes and also performance improvements. It speeds up rendering during battles and reduces resource usage while playing sounds. Next up, if you're a fan of the N64 and homebrews, well, you may be a big fan of this announcement. N64 Brew Summer Game Jam is about to start. This one is a charity event. It starts on June 30th and ends on August 21st. And if you want to get involved, if you want to learn more, I'll drop a link to this YouTube video in the description below and feel free to check it out. They have their own Discord and it's a great community. Next up, this is a quick one. It appears that Google Stadia is returning in some way, shape, or form. According to the Wall Street Journal here, YouTube is testing an online games offering called Playables. And these will be games that are playable in YouTube's web browser on PC or on Android or iOS. Unfortunately, we've got no information as to when or if this ever launches. It was being tested internally at some point in time. And speaking about iOS, next up we're talking about EmuThreeDS, 3DS emulation on iOS. And EmuThreeDS just got a brand new release. So version 1.0.6.5, which released about 3 weeks ago, which really isn't that recent, I just missed the update. They added in some in-game stuff here, a thumbstick toggle to switch between the thumbstick and D-pad and thumbstick, and also load and save state option. And they also added in the ability to convert and copy or install CIA ROMs. And speaking about new releases, next up we're talking about Xonotic, the free and fast arena shooter, and it just got a brand new update. It's available for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Now this update is incredibly important. The developers say all users are urged to upgrade immediately and not use versions older than 0.8.6 to join online servers. So version 0.8.6 has a fix here, a fix for a bug that was exploitable. So aside from just updating this for security features, there's new game types and moderation features, new bot capabilities, new HUD and interface features, quality of life and customization features for players and server admins, and a whole bunch more. And speaking about new features, next up we're talking about Tor Browser, and Tor Browser version 12.5 just released. I'll drop a link to this in the description below in the event that you want to check it out. It's got an updated circuit display. It's now beside the padlock. It's got new Onion site icons. It's got a whole bunch of bug fixes and more. Next up, this is a quick heads up that Linux kernel version 6.4 has just released. It does have some improved driver support depending on your hardware here, so if you like to be on the latest and greatest of things, you might want to check out 6.4. And speaking about heads up, if you're looking for a Vampire Survivors type experience, there's a brand new game here called Brotato. It's on sale for 20% off on Steam right now, at least in Canada, and the game isn't that expensive, and it does look pretty fun. And speaking about pretty fun, if you're a fan of rhythm games, Osu just got a brand new update. So 2023.621.0 is the latest update. And this update is absolutely huge. There's a whole bunch of bug fixes, improvements, and even more. If you're really into Osu and wanted to see these changes in detail, I'll drop a link to this video in the description below and feel free to check it out. And if you haven't checked out Osu yet, it's free and open source, and I'll drop a link to the GitHub in the description below. As of this video, Osu is available for Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. Next up, we're talking about Proton Experimental, which continues to be developed at a pretty rapid pace. As of June 24th of this year, 21st Century Basketball and Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD are now playable. On top of that, they fixed Grounded for not being playable on desktop. Wine also got a brand new update. Wine stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Wine is not an emulator. Anyways, here 8.11 just dropped, and this one has a whole bunch of bug fixes, including one for StarCraft 2 that was failing to load in staging. Last up here, there seems to be some controversy surrounding OceanGate and gaming. Someone appears to have made an OceanGate mod for GTA. On top of that, it appears that even Roblox is getting OceanGate games. It appears there are a lot of people upset about these things, and some people are finding them hilarious. Do you think they're appropriate? Let me know in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.